with Groenwolf, but you know,
Fair. I don't
put it
know if
all
I'm
out
ready.
there.
I don't know if I'm ready.
All right, folks. Well, we should be live. You guys should be able to hear us, see us, with the right extension, smell us. So hopefully anyone out there will let us know if these things are true. We're back.
Well, I can definitely hear you. Can you hear us?
Sorry for those of you who have to see me.
Similarly, those afflicted with seeing me.
Yep.
Yeah, we're coming through.
All right.
Hello.
So we're back with some first edition Dungeons and Dragons, advanced Dungeons and Dragons, playing through the Slave Lord series. We're in A1, second half. Oki missed out on them finishing off the rest of the dungeon last time. Hopefully you got the message to level up if you had the experience to do so.
No, I did not. I didn't know if I was doing this. I saw somebody level, but not for me specifically. I wasn't here, so I didn't know.
All right. Well, if you're able to do it while we're running, go ahead and do it. You can, if you've got the experience, go ahead and level. It's a couple of weeks later. You guys had come back with some information about the slave ring, the slave lords. One of them seems to be running out of Highport, which is going to be your next destination. You're given a couple of weeks to train up, to get prepared, get ready, rest up, have your wounds healed, that sort of thing. And you're being sent into Highport, the hive of scum and villainy that it is, in whatever way, shape, or form you decide to get there. So, yeah, let's talk about that after we introduce our characters. Oak, who are you playing?
I will be playing Thybor, a now 6th level half-orc fighter with psionics.
Very nice. Dion.
I'm playing NPC, the level 6 fighter.
All right. And
Yeah.
Frendon.
Hi, I'm playing Groenwolf. He's an elf magic user at 5th level and also a 1st level cleric now. And I'm excited to see what hijinks he gets up to.
Nice. And Richard.
Hi, I am Tristan, the level 6 remuneration redistribution specialist, and I am absolutely terrified to find out what hijinks Groenwolf will be up to now.
Very good. And we have new overlays thanks to the Frendon as well. Okay. So anyone listening out there, let us know if the player's audio is peaking too much and start to crackle. They're starting to redline on my meters, but if they sound fine, then so much the better.
Yay.
All right, guys. So what is the plan? Let's start with that first. You are trying to get to Highport, find out who one of the slave lords there that's running the traffic along the coastline. From the information you got from that iron trunk, the tokens of different buyers, you're guessing. You did take those. You got some paperwork with a few names and information that there are multiple slave lords that are operating out of the area, but the one for this coastline is operating out of Highport. You don't have a name.
Oh, looks like, at least for me, the stream is buffering. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Just you, I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not getting any
fair.
drop frames.
Okay, cool. And then we did have some sigils from different slaver clans as well that we kept.
Yeah, some wooden tokens that have sigils, glyphs on them. You're expecting from the documents that you found that they are the buyers, the people that are actually buying the goods. Staying anonymous and all, just using their tokens.
But it's a unique individual thing, right? So I guess, okay, without the names written down, it is anonymous. But I was going to say, you can identify the people that way. And we saved some orcs as well, who were slavers, but did not. But they ran away. They left, didn't they? So
yeah.
we're not going to be able to pump them for more information.
Yep. That was the deal you made. Is they were afraid you were going to kill them, but you guys left the room, and later on they left on their own as well.
And the wooden tokens were separate from like the amulets of the slaver clans that we had too,
Yeah,
right?
two
There were the
different things.
two different things, yeah.
The orc clans that are helping the slavers are they're employees. The tokens belong to the buyers. So,
Correct.
two different
Okay.
things.
Oh, well, then we go to the government and we find out what tax is being paid and we track back their employment history, and that'll give us all the information
Well,
we
we
need.
we did take etchings of the amulets to the government, but kept the actual amulets for ourselves, so that way we could pass
Nice.
off as slavers. So we did do that.
Nice. During the 2
smart
weeks
thinking.
that you guys were training, they did go through and try to find if any of the symbols could be linked to like heraldry or known symbols of any persons operating in the area, and no. So the symbols are unique to the buyer, but haven't been used in other ways, or at least they're not known to higher ups here in Greyhawk City.
They're not admitting to it.
Or
at
not
least.
admitting to it. It's like, yeah, that's not my family crest at all. No.
I'm reasonably surprised nobody has used somebody else's family crest.
Right. The
Yeah.
the glyphs on the tokens are also fairly crude. I mean, none of them are of enough artistic value to pass for someone's heraldry.
They need to be mass produced or at least crudely scrawled out
Yeah.
quickly. Okay. Well. So back to Highport, we think then.
Yeah, I think that's what we had to do essentially.
I forget. Did we let the boat go?
Yeah.
Did the captain sail away with it?
Yep,
The
that
crew?
was his payment for all the help,
Yeah.
was to take the boat.
You do
to
what with my boat?
stay.
I leave for one night and my boat gets taken.
That was the deal. You guys made the deal.
You just use you don't even need your crown anymore. Just
Actually-
psionic that guy back.
Your boat was, for the most part, destroyed. Well, no, it was their boat that was, and then never mind. I got that reversed.
I thought it was ours too. It got destroyed.
No, your boat's still good, but
Okay.
just
We'd
probably
be pirates
gone.
without a boat.
Of course, who knows? Maybe the slavers hired out your old captain and boat to do some trade with. Who knows?
Well, hopefully we got all the trade goods and the mystical steel, or not steel, but the spears and everything
Yes.
else off of there. And what about the mysterious elf girl who had a water nymph thing? Did she go with them, or is she
she's still
sticking
you
around
guys
with us?
here.
All right.
Yeah. Your guild has a guild house here. That's kind of where you've been staying, unless you wanted to find other digs. Now, some of you weren't part of the guild or may not have wanted to rejoin, so you might have other residences as well. That's fine.
Guild seems fine to me. I
don't have a home. Can I go with the guild?
Yeah, absolutely.
Puppy dog eyes.
Wait, are you saying you're an orphan?
Yeah, I was taken forever ago.
let's see. So ambulance.
So it's just
Oh, do the people up high, and they want us to investigate Highport? Do they have ways for us to get to Highport?
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah?
However you want to do it. Quickest approach is going to be by boat. They can
Mhm.
certainly send you on a boat, but if you wanted to go by the coastline, they can give you horses. Up to you. It's really your approach. I mean, you've been seen there before, but honestly, it's such a busy port. People recognizing you is likely, not great. I mean, the only one that really sticks out amongst all of you is Oak or Thyber, and that's because of the helm he wears.
So yeah, so I've got a crown and a saber tooth pelt cloak. So yeah, I stick out.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
ugly
wow.
as sin.
Well, ugly as sin in that city does not stick out.
My people.
They're definitely your people.
Speaking of accoutrement, I'm kind of sick of having to change clothes all the time, so I've now adopted the largely black aesthetic that I keep teleporting back with. I'm like, this is just a hassle to change clothes all the time. Whatever this thing wants me to do, I'll dress like that. It's fine.
Nice.
All right, let's see. So, do we want to take a boat? Do you feel like a scenic ride around the country on the back of a horse, jostling your spine for endless miles, or should we get a boat?
I detect a subtle hint of which direction you wish to take there.
I have no preference whatsoever. I'm entirely amenable to the group.
I mean, if we go by boat, then that means Odette's animals probably won't be coming with us.
Hmm. True. Well, I mean, depending on the boat and how much we want to spend, maybe you're right. Maybe we do just ride on the backs of filthy animals, jarring our bones out of our skin for miles and miles. Yeah, I think you're right.
It's really for the best. Yeah. So is that what everybody's agreeing upon? Is horses? It'll take a bit to get to Highport by horses. I mean, going along the coastline is going to be the fastest. There's a number of cities that you can stop in to supply, and so that you don't have to camp out if you don't want to. Conveniently, they're placed within a day's travel from one another. Some closer than that. So, yep, is that the choice then?
I'm fine with horses. I think
For me.
we've kind of spent a lot of time on boats, in fairness, out of character, despite Grown Wolf's needs.
A lot of surf, time for some turf.
Ooh.
So you're after looking at your map, what you're looking at is like you can make it to Hardby within 1 day's travel, and there from there to Safeton. It'll be a stretch, but from Safeton to Fax, Fax to sorry, having trouble.
Bad
reading
Wall,
that.
or is it
Yeah,
Elred?
Bad Wall.
One of the other.
Yep. And then again a stretch to Highport, but can be made in a day if you're good enough horseman. So that's kind of the trail that you've got going. So about 5 days of hard, fast travel.
And that was Hardby, Safeton, Bad Wall, then Highport.
Yeah. Assuming you want to stay in a city overnight, you don't have to. I mean, you can camp out, but the Wild Coast is not named that just because it's a cool name.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of activity along the coast, both natural, animal, and otherwise.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I haven't been to a few of these cities myself in some time, or for at least any amount of time, so I'm fine with that.
I mean, that's the same way we came up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the session I missed.
I understand that. I'm just thinking, what did we encounter on that journey up? Werewolves. I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't seem very wild to me.
No, I'm liking our odds of being okay.
Nice. All right, so you guys set off early enough that you can make Hardby relatively easily. That is a well-traveled path. The rivers that you're going to be crossing have bridges, and it's fairly well patrolled. So the first day goes by without any issue. You don't even have to push the horses particularly hard. You just take a few breaks, just enough to keep their stamina up, and you arrive at Hardby before nightfall. Hardby is it's a mining town. It's fairly large, but caters a lot towards the commodity that's being mined out of the Aberalls Hills there.
I mean, this is where I would expect there to be an abundance of slaves, really. Hard work in the mine, cheap labor.
Would I have any idea from the area?
Maybe. You're from the area. Make me an intelligence check. Okay. Enough,
So it looks
yeah, good enough that you remember that actually the mining trade is very well controlled. It's mostly by a clan of dwarves that stand in the Aberrals. So it's mostly dwarves that do the mining, and the minerals that are pulled out are like very tightly controlled. They don't use slave labor.
dwarves control this area. Not much into the slaves.
Hmm.
I mean, good for them, but not so good for our investigation. But all right.
So are
You might
you?
that.
They haven't been approached or maybe have information.
Mm.
So are you
True.
guys traveling in disguise? Do you have something worked up for why you're traveling? I mean, you're traveling light so that you can move fast.
Hmm.
So it's just the four of you on horseback with your whatever you can carry in your saddlebags as you come in. Hardby doesn't have any kind of tax to get in. There are several travelers' hostels that you can spend the night in. For a few coin, get a bed and a meal.
Yeah.
Is it the four of us, or is it the five of us, including Odette? Is she tagging
Um,
along?
she will arrive later.
Okay.
She had
Okay.
problems saddling her lizards or something, and will catch us up.
It's fair.
Right.
Getting rations for the lizards for the journey. Hmm. So a bunch of hostels. Any place where it seems like goods, services are exchanged, like market. Is there a central market, a main spot in town where commerce happens? Anything like that?
Yeah, they've got like a town square where it
Okay.
looks like you're arriving towards dusk. People are already starting to break down their stalls, but it's like a public square where they have like an open market. Mostly, it looks like people selling vegetables, some crafts, um, some of the jewels that make its way out of the hills have been transformed into, not cheap jewelry, but certainly not stuff that you'd find for sale in a big city. It's mostly just trinkets. Um, there are still a few booths open. It looks like some of the food stalls actually go fairly late into the night. There's skewers of some sort of meat cooking as you're walking in. There's a
I'm.
stall here that does armor repair and sharpening. He's just closing down.
Mhm. Um. I immediately buy a meat skewer. I don't even ask what it is. I'm just like, one of those. How much?
Seafood or red meat? Which do you prefer?
Yes, one of each.
Yeah, he hands you a couple skewers. It's just a couple of coppers.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
That one's probably a rat.
I
Lizard.
love it. No.
We
Even
don't do
better.
rat here. What? I'm offended.
I turn to Oak and I'm like, don't tell Odette about the lizard skewer.
Well, if it's good, we can have some big ones later.
Why do you think I'm testing the goods?
Yeah, they're all right. It's meat. It's spiced. It's food. Nothing particularly fancy about it. Again, you've got your pick of a number of hostels that are nearby. You see a few of them that have several horses saddled up. You see some that have barns where your horses can, have some covering as well. You even see one that has like a wagon depot, like for stagecoaches.
Wagon Depot. Do they wear orange aprons and do they rent them out by the hour for like, let's say, 10 copper per hour or so?
You can kind of just glance. They actually have a sign up. It looks like there's a daily carriage service out of here.
Huh.
It looks like for parcels and for passengers, either or.
Oh, neat. Okay, sure, service. I'm gonna walk up to the carriage service stand and just whoever is there like a manager on duty or something? I don't have any expired coupons or any ill business, but I just wanted to talk to someone.
No, we're pretty much closed for the day, sir. The last carriage arrived an hour ago. Next one's not due out till morning.
Hmm.
I might be able
I'm
to answer a question or two.
Oh, I appreciate that. I imagine you travel a lot of the roads between these towns. Do you ever see slavers on the routes? Any particular routes?
I haven't left this town in 20 years, son.
Oh, do your drivers ever have tales of encountering slavers?
Well, typically the carriages just run between here and the city of Greyhawk.
Uh,
You can rent one to go elsewise, but for the most part, it's pretty well patrolled. Slavers, you
no.
say? Is that a
Yeah,
problem?
there's some problems further south with them, but if you're going to Greyhawk, you're probably not going to see
Oh,
them.
south, no. We don't send carriages south. Leastwise, the ones we intend to get back.
No, that makes sense. Okay, it's all coming together for me then. That's what I was curious. I was like, oh, you on these roads, you either must be really tough or know something that we don't, and it appears the thing that you know that we don't is to have the better sense than to go south.
You said it, kid.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
He slams down the shutter, closing off the inside. You see the torches go out. He probably sleeps in there as well. Yeah, you guys want to do anything special? I mean, it's not much of a town. Again, most of the commerce is just done in the central square, and most everything is closed up now, except for a few food stalls.
Well, they're right on the coast, so there must be
There
a
is a
port or something
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
It's not a big one, but they do have a port.
right. And Greyhawk is to the north, right? And that
Yes.
is where we found the slaves. They were north of Greyhawk.
Further north, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that means that in order for the slaves to get to Highport, they would probably go down via the sea, unless they were stupid enough to take the route that we're taking. So, I mean, I'm going to ask around down at the docks if they know of any mysterious ships that go by in the night and never come to dock here because they're filled with the whales of the damned or something.
Make me a charisma check.
Um,
Is anybody going with him, by the way? When he
I'll
tells
go
you,
with
hey,
him.
I'm going down to the docks. I'm going to chat some people up.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
with I'll be muscle.
yeah, that is abject failure.
All right.
Um,
Actually, a lot of people just either outright ignore you, or a couple of people that look like they're stevedores or the professional unloaders. Like, no, sir. Ain't no smuggling going on around here. I don't know where you got that kind of information from.
Neither do I. As I was about to say, I will blow one of our generous rerolls that somebody gave to us earlier. Thank you, mysterious benefactor. Just to see. Yeah, okay, that's a low success, but yeah.
All right.
Or
So
at least
the
it's
same guy that's commenting on that seems to be like, hey, maybe my memory gets better if coins pass over my hands.
As it typically does.
hmm
No, sir.
Well,
No smuggling going on around here at all. This dock is as honest as the day is long. He looks around somewhat.
wow. I mean, it's coming up to winter. The days are getting shorter, I say. Oh, hiding over that money. I don't know how much would be an appropriate bribe. So, hey, you tell me how much an appropriate bribe is, person I'm bribing.
That charisma roll kind of gets you. No, that's fine. You know, it's a few silver. This guy probably doesn't make that much in a day. He accepts it, and he kind of sits down. He lights a bear pipe. Who else is with you?
I said I'd
Down
go.
there.
Okay, so
Everybody.
so everybody, yeah.
All right. Well, he passes his tobacco pouch around. He's kind of just sitting on the edge of the wharf. He says, "Now, what exactly are you looking for? There's all kinds of smuggling going on around here."
We're looking into the slavery around here.
Oh, slaves. Well, to be honest, we don't see much of that around here. I understand there's a healthy trade going on. Most of what we get here are tax dodgers. Ships get loaded up in smuggling bays on those ships and make their way up to the free city, and you know that cargo makes its way onto the streets there without getting any kind of taxes put on them. That's most of the smuggling you see on here. Occasionally there's other items. People. Not slaves, mind you, but people being smuggled into the cities. I've heard of that. You're talking about slaves, though.
Mhm.
He, lights his pipe. Well, I mean, Smart man would put money on Highport as being a trade center there, but gotta say, occasionally I've seen interesting ships stop off here that take on a lot more water and food than's necessary for a short voyage up the river.
Are there any records, or is that kind of part and parcel to the whole being
Records.
under? Yeah, that's what I was
Records,
guessing.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
You think we got an organized thieves guild here or something?
yeah. I mean, how many silver does it take to find out about the organized thieves guild, my good man?
No, we don't talk about them. They pretty much leave us alone if we pay up. We leave them alone.
That's
First
fair.
rule
Look,
of Thieves Guild.
Maybe I do need to know someone you can speak to. There's a KG folk. Goes by the name of Garland. He's down at the Three Sheets. And he just kind of points down the alley. Not a bad place to stay. Just lock your door, lock your window if you choose to. He works out there. As I recall it, he used to be a slave.
No. Well, he might have some interesting perspective then, given his prior history.
Well, he may know the folks to stay away from. If you get him adrift, which boats to avoid, which people not to converse with, he might know a bit more.
I appreciate that.
But do you ever see most of these boats here are all flat bottoms, so they can go up the rivers better. You ever see one that's got a really big draft, big enough that you can get horses onto and seem to be more than one level high? Chances are they're carrying more than your conventional cargo. Tain't none now. All we got now is vegetables going up the stream, and I hear there's well, I shouldn't talk more about it, but I hear there's something special going up to the Free City here. Something requested by some of the higher ups. A little entertainment, maybe.
Well, flat bottom boats do make the rockin' world go round. Do you say you don't want to talk about that, but you did just tell us about it, which implies to me that maybe you kind of do want to talk about it, or you're bad at this. So
No, look, it's all local business, right? It sounds like you folks are trying to get information that's a little bit more far-reaching. The local guild is all ran by them dwarven clans up there. You don't want to get involved. You don't put your nose in their deal. They don't put their nose or their fists into your deal.
okay. Well, I mean, that's helpful. I mean, especially if we do want to put our nose to get fisted or whatever you said, I mean, it sounds interesting at least. But I do like the idea of talking to Garland, so thank you.
Yep, 3 sheets. Yeah, he's the general handyman out there. He's got a room there. You'll find him sitting by the fire usually. Got some kind of egg about him. He gets cold real easy. I appreciate the money. Buy me some nice wine tonight.
How much gold would it cost to just buy rations for everyone for the trip?
Yeah, well, I mean, assuming you're not wanting to eat caviar, a single gold is enough to keep you well provisioned for the next few days.
All right, so I'll spend the gold and just fill up on rations. I managed to grab gold from my stash
All
while
right.
we were
We'll say you
training.
spend a gold. You go through some of the vendors. You find some of the food that's going to last a few days, but it's not like, trail ration. Something a little bit up from that. Some potable beer, some weak beer in place of water, that sort of thing. So you're all stacked up. You got a bag of oats for your horses, too, in case you don't manage to make it to a town.
Well, I'm all set.
Do we want to maybe talk to the 3 sheets in fellow Garland, the handyman, before we settle down for the night, or do we want to do it in the morning before we leave?
Is the 3 sheets somewhere we can stay? Because
Sounds like it might be.
Sounds okay to me.
If it's not an inn, we can at least find some info.
Info.
Murder you all.
I'm down.
All right, you find the 3 sheets amongst the convenience places in the area that are open, it's definitely the loudest. As you're getting in, there's a large deck that runs around this two-story building. There are a lot of people just having drinks and food out on the deck in the night air. There's more than one minstrel playing inside different things. People are rather loud and ruckus. There is somebody's got a game of axe throwing going on. It looks like it was a few dwarves, but there are a few half-orcs playing as well. They got gold on a stump table. As you're coming in, they've got the kind of like saloon doors, and you push your way in, and the minstrels, dueling minstrels are actually set up on stages on opposite sides, and they're trying to out-shout and out-music each other. And the customers are going one side to the other as they decide who they like more. But as you come in, everything stops. Like the ruckus, the sound stops. Everybody turns in your direction. Bartender says, 4 new ones! Who guessed 4? And there's a guy kind of raising up his beer cup. He's like, the bartender's like, come on over! And they fill up his stein, and as you guys walk in. Again,
Time to
it's
order
loud as heck in here.
Or-
There's so many, there's a mix of very different many species here. Dwarves, you see a few elves in the corner that look like they're just completely shit-faced. It's busy, it's loud. What do you want to do?
I go order a couple flagons of information.
I'm gonna follow Thybor.
The bar mistress is half orc of I forget how to say the word, Rognarian proportions. She is, again, as wide as she is tall.
Fantastic.
She's got this leather apron that goes from her neck all the way down, but it looks like it's fit to bursting. And she is slinging down tankers of ale down the table. And all the customers are just lined up, grabbing them as they go. Her tip jar, she's got this almost like a goldfish jar, and there's just all kinds of coin in it. For such a large woman and being half orc, she has a charming smile. And as you guys come up, she just slaps down some tankards in front of you.
Hi.
I toss her gold.
Yep. She directs you to the fishbowl.
Yeah, I just flip it in.
Well, that'll have you drinking all night.
Perfect.
What's your worst beer?
No, my worst beer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a dare?
Kind of, yes. I do like a challenge.
Okay. Well, old Wormy. She goes down.
Oh,
She pulls out this little like pony keg size and slams it down on the table. She's not been tapped yet, so I'm afraid you're going to have to buy the whole barrel. This is possibly the strongest, worst tasting beer this side of the coast.
you've made me such a happy little man tonight. I say, and I pick it up and throw the required amount of money. How much for this? Is it covered?
It's like
With-
10 silver for the
Oh,
cask.
easy,
notice
not
that
a problem.
It's a really dark wood keg, and like kind of etched into the side is like the rear end of a donkey taking a dump.
Oh, this is perfect. I love this so much. People call me a donkey's ass all the time, and so I feel like you made this for me or bought this for me, and I'm gonna kind of take it and just take a step back from the rest of the party and try to tap it.
She flashes that beautiful smile. Yeah, she gives you a little bung
Yeah,
taps, whatever you want to call them.
yeah, exactly.
And
I
a
start
mug,
working at
and a
that.
mug.
Oh, is it a collectible mug? Does it also have the horse, the donkey pooping on it? Oh no, okay.
But you can keep the keg.
Oh, thank you. I love that. It's so wonderful. And I'll take a step back.
All right. Yeah, so again, she pushes out mugs to everybody. She looks Thybor up and down and says, What do we have here? Yeah, the king of something with that shiny hat. And again, she's like
Your
slightly
dreams.
mocking, but she's just flashing the smile when she says it.
King for a beautiful princess like yourself.
She does kind of this
He has that real
curtsy.
ugly smile.
Yeah. Don't see too many personages like yourself in here.
Well, there's only so many kings in the world.
Yeah, could do with a fair few less, but I'm sure you're an all right person.
Yeah, maybe we can find a little bit more out later.
Yeah, she gives you a wink. A few guys down further on the bar kind of snicker, and you see like there's money passing between them. Seems like they're making bets.
I kind of just, do I see this?
Yeah.
I just kind of grin like there's only going to be one winner tonight, and that's me.
There's more money passing between them, and they just laugh.
Oh. I'm going to take additional steps backwards.
Yeah, I'll sit and drink for a while, just chit chat, and if it seems like things are loosening up a bit, kind of lean in and be like, so where does one hire some help if you need it, but you want cheap labor?
Cheap labor. Whew. I don't know. Labor in this town is a little on the expensive side. So this is a dwarf you're talking to. The mines pay pretty good. Clan takes care of the workers pretty well. What kind of work you have in mind? Especially? You need a drover
It
for your
varies.
horses? What you looking
It
at?
varies. There's a lot of times carrying stuff, a lot of
Oh,
manual labor.
just a general laborer. Well,
Yeah, but something that may be a little bit more permanent in ownership.
he kind of. Make me a charisma check.
Oh, the wonderful charisma check for him. Oh, I forgot it did go up 2 points, so
Yeah, yes, it did.
Oh, that's right.
I'm still single digits though, so don't get your hopes up. Oh wait, that's the wrong button. Doesn't matter.
Same either way.
Nice.
Same either way. It's low success. When you say it, he
Yep.
gets your drift, and he gets just this look of disgust on his face, and he spits down, not quite on your feet, and just walks away from you.
I wanted to make sure was this loud enough, like for the barkeep and any other distasteful around to kind of hear.
Okay. I'm gonna say with that charisma roll. Okay, I mean you do that. No one approaches you. The dwarf you're talking to has just gone off in disgust. You do see that he's like walking into a group of another dwarves, and they seem to be talking. They kind of look over at you sideways every now and then.
A quick question, kind of table talk. Since we did have some time to level up in the off session, is it considered that I learned the spells I want to learn, or am I gonna? Okay,
Yeah, you
cool.
have to choose which ones you have prayed for the day. So just make sure you mark the ones that you can cast.
Right.
While we're on you, make me a save versus poison.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Okay, doing it now. Save versus poison. All right, roll no mod. I super do not pass that.
You
Actually,
rolled
you
over.
do. Yeah.
Oh, no, I did. I'm sorry. That's right. It's not a roll under like everything else.
Actually, it's not that the stuff is bad. It's just
Yeah.
that it's pure alcohol. Like
Oh.
this is like moonshine more than it is beer. You get hammered fast. It has
Oh,
almost
boy.
no taste. It's just pure alcohol.
Oh, this stuff, y'all, is liquid wonderful, and I feel fantastic. And I just kind of lean into Richard. Just-
NPC, one of the dwarves that looked like they were betting on Thyber's attempt at some romance, kind of sniggers, comes up to you, says, "Hey, why don't you order yourself a flagon of wine?" And he put some copper down on the table. My treat. He just kind of just guffaws and walks back over to his buddies, and they just kind of sit and wait, kind of watching.
Ordered a thing of wine.
Skin of wine is what he said.
I kind of motioned to the flagon that I'm already drinking that she had set down for me. And I just say, yeah, once I finish this, take a couple of sips and just kind of mention it when she runs by. Like, I'll take a thing of wine
Yep.
when you
So
get a second.
Yeah. So you'd ordered like a flagon,
Mhm.
or like a cup. So she brings you like a leather flagon of wine, puts it down as she leaves. Make me an intelligence check.
Do, 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 do. I pass low,
Okay.
but
The leather wine flagon. It's made of very soft and smooth leather. It's very pliable, and you're like, you think for a minute, and you're like, no. And you look over to the dwarves, and they're just laughing, and they're slapping each other on the back. And you look back at the leather skin. You're like, no. And they look back at you, just nodding. It's made out of testicle.
I start losing it at the bar. I just start guffawing, like slap the bar top and everything. I'm tickled pink once this all sinks in.
Yeah, and then that whole group just uproariously just starts laughing.
NPC, what's the joke here? What's it? And I poke at the flag.
I hold it up so it's just like
Oh
dangles
my!
pendulously, and I look at the guys while I'm holding it up, and I point at it, and I'm like, should I drink it? Should I drink it?
Do it!
Just
Do
doing the
it!
look at those two.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It's fairly sour wine.
I take a swig of it, and I'm like, "Wah!"
I just lift my little barrel, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah. What's Tristan doing during all this?
Tristan is looking hot, right? No, Tristan was going to be looking around for whatever the highest stakes gambling
Ooh.
type thing around here would have been.
It's a group of dwarves. They've got some gold on the table, nuggets as opposed to coins. Some of them have slender bars, and you see some gems on the table. Just quick assessment. You're looking at the table. That's a few hundred gold worth of wealth there.
What sort of game are they playing? Is it cards or the
No,
stabbing dagger
They're
thing?
playing a game that is carved tiles, and they lay all the tiles with the rune faces down. They kind of wash them, shuffling them all around. Each of them grabs 7 tiles and kind of stack it up in front of them. Looks like some variant of a card game, but using stones.
Beginner's luck is always a thing, so I'll see if I can get in on a game of this.
Okay. Yeah, they look up, and again, the whole table is dwarves. You're human, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
They look up
But I
at
do
you.
speak Dwarven. It's one of
Okay.
my languages. So
All right, you
I
wanna
will
open-
introduce myself in Dwarven.
All right, what do you open with? What do you say?
Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting. I've always seen this game played in places, but I've never had the time to sit down and learn it. Can you teach?
I'd be glad to teach, but it's going to cost you. You got to ante in like everybody else. 1 silver, ante in. Have a seat.
I
Someone
would expect no less. So, yeah.
pulls up another stump. Most of the chairs here are like tree stumps. And you've been to play. The first thing I want you to do is make an intelligence roll to see if you can get the gist of the game.
Yeah. Let's say anything over a 10 is a high success, right?
High
So, yeah,
success. So you don't actually lose money the first time. You're kind of, for the first few rounds, you're you lose some, you win some. You're keeping about even. One thing that you're noticing, it's a matching game, kind of like maybe like dominoes, perhaps.
Okay.
But you do notice something interesting is like the dwarves themselves don't ever look at the stones. They're just kind of rubbing the face with their thumbs. It seems like they've played it often enough that they can tell by feel what the stones are. And so they're not even, but you, of course, have got to look at each one of your stones to figure out what the match are. So they're playing very fast, you're playing slow, but you get the idea quickly enough. All right, so we're going to leave you for a minute. Oak,
right.
so what's Thyber doing after he's collected some attention? Some people are people are looking at you, but maybe not in the way that you were hoping. You're getting really nasty looks from several different groups around, not just the dwarves now.
Oh, I figured the dwarves would be, but
Yeah. A few of the half-orcs are looking not so good. One of them actually walks over to this human that's near the fireplace. He's kind of really close to it, despite how just hot this building is with all the bodies in here. He's got, fairly thick clothes on. His hands are wrapped in like not bandages like he has wounds, more like to protect his hands. And he's very close to it. He's just drinking a cup of what looks like warm wine. Half-orc goes over to him, says a few things. He looks over at you and stares at you for a good long time. Kind of just slowly shakes his head. And the half-orc that went over to talk to him just kind of nods and pats him on the shoulder. And he goes off.
I just kind of smile at him, give him a wink.
Which one, the half-orc or the human?
The human.
Okay. All right. He just turns his back to you, back to the fire. He just kind of getting close and gazing into it.
I've got an ulterior plan. I've got two prongs of attack here to hopefully get information. We'll see how it plays.
Drone Wolf, are you moderating yourself, or are you just trying to get to reach the end of this thing?
So I had initially the plan to try to find Garland, but I think the stuff did hit me harder than I expected. And so what I think Grownwolf has done is actually ambled over to the other table of elves and sat down and completely inserted himself into that
Okay.
group of drunk shenanigans.
They are completely wasted. One of them is
Yeah.
half conscious as he just kind of slumped in his chair, just giggling. The
Mhm.
other one is trying to pour the remnants of. They also got a pony keg of beer.
Oh.
He's trying to pour the remnants. It's not the same one as yours, though. He's trying to pour the remnants into his mug. He gets half of it in, half of it out. Gives up and just upends it into his face.
These are my people in so many ways, I say as I sit down, and I just I say to the one that's somewhat cogent, like, have you tried this stuff? I think it's basically pure alcohol, and it will probably kill you tonight, but it is going to be a good death.
He finishes his mug. He's kind of looking at you blurrily, and he kind of pushes it out to you. It's like, sure, let's have a little.
Oh yeah,
I'll trade
just
you. You can have some of ours.
no, great, just a little, sure, no problem, and I fill his glass with it.
Okay, so like he drinks it down. He's like, tastes like water. That's the last thing he says as he hits the table.
When that happens, given that the other one slipped over too, I grab the second pony keg and then I just walk back to the group with both.
It's kind of double arming it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys look like they're more woodland style elves and city elves. Not the highfalutin kind. They look like they might have been laborers here. Not wearing very fancy clothes at all. Dion, what's NPC doing after you had your sour wine and this very special jerky?
I don't finish it. I close it back up and I keep it because I like it. That's coming with me forever. But I keep drinking from my flagon, and I'm gonna look around at the tables. I'm just gonna walk around casually and kind of just like nod to people as I go around, just kind of feeling the vibes, seeing who's at what table. Is there a table of like particularly burly people anywhere?
Well, it depends. I mean, there are several tables of just dwarves, and they're all always burly. They're just short. If you mean outside of that, there is a contingent of half orcs and full orcs. This is the Wild Coast. I mean, that's pretty much the populace here.
I'm gonna go up to
What's
the
your charisma?
orcs. It's not high.
Okay.
It's 11 with a 10 comeliness.
Okay. Well, regardless of that, if you're nodding and smiling at people as you're walking down this very long bar, you seem to have a few people following you, just being neighborly. You know, they're taking their drinks and just kind of seeing what you're doing. So you head over to this table of.
Yeah.
There's
Is
only
there a
one
free seat?
full-bodied orc, and there are several half-orcs. They seem to be discussing something over a map. They got a map laid out, daggers on each end to hold it open. They're using like coins just to mark something on the map. You're not sure what.
I'm gonna politely pull. Is there a chair available?
Yeah, there's stumps all around. Everybody's sitting on stumps.
Yeah, but they're all actively talking and planning something.
Yep. And so you just
I'm
kind of sit
gonna.
down.
Oh no, I'm not gonna sit down. You know what? You said I had people following me,
Yes.
milling about. I'm gonna just like be nearby and just like shoot the shit with these people that are following me.
If
Just
you
like
stop
kind of stop
moving,
and
you're quickly surrounded by a bunch of drunks chatting you up. That's exactly
yeah.
what happens.
Yep, I'm just gonna just shoot the shit, but like keep an eye and try and pick up bits and pieces of what they're talking about. See if I can hear any specific buzzwords, but not like staring at them. You know what I mean?
Sure. Um, would you do two things for me? Make a
Okay.
wisdom check and then give me a luck
Okay.
check, say high or low, before you roll a d100.
All right. So wisdom is 1 over, and the luck is a D100.
Yeah.
And we're
Say high or
always
low.
high.
Okay.
We're always high.
All
I
right.
rolled low. Can I do a reroll?
You're the master of the bits,
Go
so
for it.
you tell me if you're using it or not.
Nope. Okay. Well, one reroll down the pooper, but
Which one
nope.
which one are you reloading? The high low? Okay.
Yeah, and I rolled low still.
They're
So
talking too low. You're really not sure. I mean, the map they have down is a map of the coastline, though. They're just discussing something. They're fairly, well dressed. They look like they've been doing some hard traveling, but their clothing isn't that of like soldiers, mercenaries. They're actually fairly well dressed, especially for this
mm.
area. All of them, including the orc.
Hmm.
Thiber, what are you doing?
I'm still trying to ply the barmaid as much as possible, but I'm also keeping an eye on my back in case anybody's ready to fight. And if they do, it depends on how it goes, what I'm got planned.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. If you chat up the bartender, again, just people are very interested in seeing what's going on. But eventually, she's like, "Look, honey, we close down 4-5 hours from now. You're gonna need a place to sleep off that hangover. Now we got rooms upstairs, but I got a special room too. Gotta warn you though." And she gets in real close and gives you again that this beautiful smile on this, I'm not gonna say hideous because you are, an orc or half orc, so it's fetching. It gives you a big smile though, and she says, "Those that can't satisfy me leave with a little less than they came with." And then the guys around you just start just making a ruckus.
I've got no problem there.
Right. She gives you a wink then, and she says, "Well, once we close down, we'll see."
Is anybody trying to pick a fight yet or anything?
No, actually, since you made your charisma roll, people are pissed that you're asking about that, but they're not going to start a fight.
I'm gonna walk up to kind of where Oak is at, if that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, "Thybor, did anybody ask about? Oh God, I think his name was Judy or Garland or something. I forget. He's supposed to be a handy
Somewhere over
man, of some sort. Did anyone follow that lead before I got really, really shit hammered?"
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh. And then I start to walk towards Tristan and find Tristan.
Right,
I need an
Tristan.
adult, basically.
You've managed to hold your own. You've lost as much as you won, but you've got the hang of it now. And so, they're all just kind of nodding. They're like, all right, now the real stakes. Here's how we're going to do this. How much do you want to wager? Like, how deep into the pot do you want to go before you tap out?
Is this the maximum I can lose?
This is the maximum you may want to lose.
And how much was the stuff on the table when I was coming up?
A few hundred, like 200-300 gold worth.
So
no.
they probably about 100 each, approximately, if there were 3 of them there. So yeah. Wow. All right, let's do 100 gold as well then. I think
right.
that is.
All right, so make me an intelligence check, and I'm going to roll for them as well.
All right. Now, question: is there any way that I can cheat at this?
Yes.
If I can, substitute the switch around the domino that I'm going for, sort of thing, with dexterity.
Yes, you can.
Or something,
Yes, you can.
the way.
So the game is very mathematical. Like, you can figure out the odds of certain tiles. That's why it's an intelligence check to play the game. But if you want to cheat, you can try that with a dex check. And what it'll do is, if you make your dex check, and then I'll see if they're going to notice it. But if you make your dex check, it will increase your
my int check.
Yeah, your int check.
All right. Okay. Well, let's try cheating and see how this goes. Yeah, that's a high success.
They got a low success. Your high success beats it, so they do not notice. High success will give you a plus. Treat your intelligence as 2 points higher.
Right. Okay. And that, thanks to those 2 points, that is a success. A high success again.
Okay. That is above their intelligence, so they fail. Okay, so you win the pot. So you bet 100. They matched you, and this is over several. It's incremental over several minutes as the hands go and go and go.
Yep.
You win. You win the last pot. You win. You get 200 more than you threw in. So you got each of their 100, and you kept your own.
All right. So I just say, drinks are on these guys. I say, and I just go and put a bunch of gold into the bar pot.
Okay, then there is a sudden rush to the counter as everybody starts claiming their free drinks.
I don't take all of the gold that I have won.
Okay.
I say, thanks for the lesson. You keep this because, and then just unload it.
Yeah, they actually not sore losers at all. Like, yeah, well played, well played.
So normally,
Thanks for teaching me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and now that everybody's drunk,
Mm-hmm.
going to be very drunk. Hey, let's see if we can find this Garland guy, and nobody will remember it was us who was talking to him.
And I was just walking towards you, and I was like, that is the best plan that I could not have come up with in my current state. Thank you so much, Tristan.
Now, the guy that we're looking for, is he a slaver or just a contact for something?
He's
He
an
was a
ex-slave.
slave and has.
Ex-slave.
Yeah.
He's the
He
ex-slaver.
might still be a slaver. We don't know.
Yeah, that's
He might
true.
have
I
worked
mean,
his way up from
yeah.
slave to slaver.
Are those orcs finished talking over the map? Are they
No,
just
they're still going at it. It looks like they've been at it for a while. You see several plates of food, and it looks like they've gone on to the drink portion of their discussion.
so they're all drinking?
Slowly, like they're not hammering it like everybody else in this place is. So you're getting some, you're a lot of people around you now chatting you up. You're one of the only, not the only, but one of the few of the fair sex of any species here tonight.
I'm gonna minger and what's it called? Meander my way over to a table of dwarves that are kind of chilling if they're still around after the rush to the bar. I'm gonna plop down and just do one of these.
Oh no.
And just have a big shit-eating grin on my face. You just be like, howdy, boys.
So this passes for most of the entertainment in this place as a round of betting begins around you. All right, yeah. So yeah, a few of them take you up on it, and you do some arm wrestling. Let's see if you're impressive or not. Just make me a strength check.
That's a high success out of 16. I rolled a 13.
All right, you beat the first dwarf. There's apparently your entourage were betting on you. So there's a hurrah going up. Next dwarf takes the place. This goes on for a bit. What's going on with the rest of you guys as NPC is outmanning the dwarves here?
That's another success.
So Tristan, do you want to try to find the Garland guy while they're up to reindeer games?
That was the plan. While everybody's distracted drinking, it's just, you know,
Yes, it's quite a
I'll
distraction.
go around and say, "Hey, what's your name?" and like introduce myself as a drinking, trying to narrow down who this
Right.
person is.
So
Mhm.
where are you going to the guy near the fireplace? Is that what you're?
I'm
No.
going to everybody to try and find who Golan is, and I'm just going up and because I've just bought the drinks. I'm going, "Hey, I'm blah blah. What's your name?"
Okay, sure. NPC, this the second dwarf is actually you're like kind of a stalemate, and like he's struggling, you're struggling, and he
All right.
kind of gets in really close. You know, sweat's coming down his brow. He gets really close to your face and says, "I'm in bunk 4. Come by later."
And I roll a 13 for my third time. If that's like a round 2 to finish against him, if
Yeah,
we're
and you
stalemated.
finish it off. Yeah, you.
I
beat
just
him.
go, and I just go, "You don't see man enough, boy." and I just do it again, grin on my face, waiting for the next one.
All right, so you're causing a distraction. Tristan, if you're just kind of asking around, well, is anyone actually asking for him by name?
No.
Nope.
I think I'm too drunk to, probably.
Fiber.
No, what basically my play here is if somebody actually wants to give slaving information, hopefully I can get it from there. If not, then I'm going to say that I have a friend I'm actually looking for, so I'm posing as a slaver.
Okay. Who do you tell this to? Like just
No, I'm
somebody
not telling him. I'm
Okay.
telling the DM
All
what
right. All right.
player is thinking.
Well, people
You
are
might actually.
because
I'm
of
So
sorry.
that's kind of how I'm viewing. Like it seems like the bar is looking at me pissed, like, "Oh, this dude's a slaver." So cool. If it gets around and then I get approached by a slaver, good. If somebody
Yes.
wants to pick a fight with me, then it's going to be like, "Look, this isn't what you think."
All right.
I'm trying to find,
It's not so much
vengeance.
that no one looks like they want to pick a fight with you, but people are actively avoiding you.
Okay. So either way, I'm hoping to draw somebody out one way or the other. That's
Well, unless
his
you're
whole
taking any more actions other than just dropping the words that you did, you're just being avoided.
Okay, then I'm just going to keep my eyes open and watch everybody else's back.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of people in this bar, Tristan. You're just kind of sitting down and, exploring things. People are like really well wasted considering you just bought several rounds for everyone in the
Yep.
bar.
Oh, another flagon. No, not flagon. Another cask for my friend Grown Wolf here. Yeah, like one of those. I'm sure.
I've now got 3. I'm just walking around with 3 now.
Hugging them to yourself, right?
Yes.
So, with everyone being pretty much drunk, the only person in this place that seems to stand out or to even meet the description you were given is the guy by the fire. He's just wrapped up in a thick cloak, and his hands are wrapped in bandages, and is really close to that roaring fire, considering how warm this place
Oh,
is.
because he was cold. The cold goes into his bones.
That's
Oh,
right.
if only I'd put that together earlier. Never
So
mind.
is this the dude that I winked at?
Yep.
Okay. I figured he's going to, with his talking about his hands wrapped, that he's like the big brawler here.
Oh, he's a sweetie guy. He looks like he's tall, but he's like hunched over, and you see his wrist is fairly thin and bony.
And going over and introducing myself as a thing. He hasn't taken an extra drink or anything at the bar.
He hasn't drank at all. other than just hanging on to this one goblet of wine that he hasn't refilled the whole time. As far as you can tell.
Hey, who are you? What's your name? What are you doing here? You okay? You don't want to refill? Blah, blah, blah.
Has Tristan been drinking, or are you just putting on
No,
the airs of
Tristan
like you
is
were?
making everybody else drunk so that while
Alright.
he keeps his.
Make me a charisma check then. Okay.
Yeah, very low
Yeah,
success.
he just kind of nods. He points to a stool that's across from there. So when you sit down, you notice one, this person is human. You actually can't tell what persuasion. The face is really badly disfigured with a lot of scars. Other than the eyes and mouth and nose and everything are intact, but like the features are just there's welts and old scars all over this person's face. And again, he's got a cloak on, and this person has a cloak on, and when you get a good look at their face, they kind of turn a little bit so you don't have a full view. So it's like there's a lot of festivities going on. Why do you want to talk to me? I'm nobody of importance.
Everybody says that, but you seem like a special kind of person over here. Keeping to yourself, keeping out of the way. Must have some stories to tell.
I'm just cold. Just cold. Grown Wolf, are you approaching with your 3 kegs?
Yeah, I'm like teetering behind them, and I'm like, "Come on, Garmond. I've heard that you know some things in your past which are of interest to us. Maybe, Tristan. I'm gonna sit down next to him on the floor.
He looks kind of over at your group and says, "Look, I'm not an entertainer. I don't entertain people with stories of my past." And he kind of throws the rest of his wine into the fire and makes like he's about to stand up.
Hold 1 second. I know you're cold. That's why you're sitting by the fire. What if we could do something to light a fire in you? We're looking into people who have been taken against their will and planning on disrupting the efforts of those sort of people.
Or I could just
Your
cast a magic missile at you and like really hot flames.
a metaphorical fire.
That's right.
Not a literal one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you,
I
Tristan.
think I walk over at this point and kind of put my hand on the Gronwolf's shoulders, like, "Why don't you go sit down and sober up a little bit?"
Okay.
Fiverr, before you walk over, you see this man start to get up, and Tristan kind of pause him. But he looks to like 3 different points in the room. You see that he catches eye contact with 3 fairly large half-orcs who kind of just nod, and you notice that they don't have drinks in their hands. They seem to be very sober. All 3 of them kind of loosen their scabbards, loosen their weapons, and just are very interested in what's going on there at the fire.
Yeah, so I've been watching all this, so I approached like I was going to, put my hand up like not doing anything, tell Grown Wolf to go sit down. I'm like, "I don't know what your friends have told you. Probably what I put the idea out there. We're looking at wanting to stop what's going on. I was trying to fish out some information. I look the part, but I do not play it. We're here to help. These are my friends as well." And I'll just sit down.
Okay. All right. He sits down as well, and he says, "Look, that kind of information's dangerous. I've gotten out of that. I'm free of them."
Do you think that anybody in here will remember that we were talking to you after tonight? I mean, look.
The slave lords have eyes everywhere. Not everyone's drunk. Much like you, friend.
I'm
And
sure
he's
there's
definitely
others
looking
like
at Tristan and not Grown Wolf. He's gone.
So I'm sure there's others that would like to be in your position to be away from that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
Well, perhaps we can facilitate that.
And he kind of looks at all of you. He's like, "Who are you? Who do you work for? What cat's paw are you?"
We work for ourselves. We also happen to have made some friends along the way that ran afoul. I'll try to tell them about the dwarf that got killed, that basically sacrificed himself to get us information.
All right.
I don't know if he knows him or not.
Question.
Sure. Go ahead, Dion.
You said those orcs were going over that way, right?
No, no, they're still talking.
Oh. Oh, I thought they were walking
Different set.
towards you
No,
guys.
there were three
Okay.
specific half orcs that he caught their eye. The
You're getting
orcs-
ready to kick my ass if the dude gave the word, basically.
Yeah, the one orc and the half orcs that are near you debating are still talking. You have made your way through the table of dwarves. They're done. They're done arm wrestling you, but they do ply you with alcohol and invite you to join.
Yes. Hell yeah.
All right, but you do see the rest of your party is over by the fire now.
I make my way over.
All right,
I
have you been
finished
drinking?
my first flagon. No,
Oh,
I've been
You just finished your
sipping.
first.
I've been busy, so it's
Okay.
just like, and then take a little swig, and then keep going a couple rounds, take a little swig. So I
Alright.
just finished my first one.
Well, if you're moving over to the fire, your entourage is following you.
I kind of hand off my empty one. And I go, "Someone please get me a refill," and just hang nearby.
Sure. All right. At the fireplace, he's like, "Look," and he's looking down at his hands. Again, like I said, he's got like his hands are wrapped, and it looks like his fingers are kind of bent. They're almost like in claws. And he's kind of looking at his hands, and he says, "Look, I don't know what I can tell you that will help. Yeah, I still got friends in that system."
Got any names? At the very least, if we drop your name in that to them, they might be more inclined to talk to us if we have to go through this pretending process again.
Yeah, you know my name. I didn't change it. It's the one thing that's always been mine.
All right.
You're right, Garmond. We do know.
Look, it's not just one operation. You got to know that off the bat. That's why speaking about this sort of thing is never a good idea. What do you know?
Practically nothing, I guess.
And as you say that, I take one of the wooden tokens out of my bag and one of the amulets, and I just go, "We've got some notes and things." And then,
Yeah, he seems to recognize both, but doesn't really comment on it.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah. So you've met one of the sales groups, I guess.
Yes. We interrupted a sale that was going on there, certainly.
All right. Well, look. I'm willing to tell you my story. Enough people have heard it that it's not likely to cost me anything. Look, I escaped from Highport almost a year ago now. Highport's a holding bin. We're shipped in from all over. We're collected, we're held until there's enough of us that are suitable to whatever buyer is decides to collect us. Highport, they still don't work in the open, all right? I don't know where I was being held. It's underground, it stank. It was horrible. I do know that when I escaped, look for an abandoned temple of Groomish. Far into the hills, back end of Highport, to the Pormarge. Temple's not in use, but I found a way out beneath a broken altar stone. It leads into a sewer system. It's somewhere in there is where they hold us all.
So the point of egress could be a point of ingress, maybe too. You think?
Yeah. The way I got out wasn't protected, but there are reasons for that. There are creatures down there. Insects that walk like men. Horrible. They somehow the slavers have worked out some kind of deal. They act as protection, but they live there. I found a chamber full of their eggs. The way I went was dangerous. And he holds up his hands and he unwraps one of his hands, and they look like they're mummified. The skin is stretched tight like old leather. He can barely move the joints. It's like they have a spit, a poison that they can launch. It's corrosive. I lost my hands getting out of there, but I got out with my life.
The area he's describing, since I'm from here, and not that anybody else knows this, but I worship the same deity. Would I have heard or know where this temple may be?
I'll tell you what. You grew up in this area, but not necessarily Highport. So make me a intelligence check. If you get over a 10, you'll know exactly what he's talking about.
Nope.
You didn't even know there was a temple to Groomish in Highport.
Rolled a D10.
Abandoned or not.
Oh, I rolled shit. You're right. I'm sorry. I rolled a D10.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh.
Did that
Try again.
Second. Even worse.
Even worse.
Yeah.
No idea that there was a temple to Groomish in Highport.
When he says this, I'm gonna
Worth a
say,
shot.
go like, do you know if there's any Groomish people temples here, like around, that we could ask the location of this other one from?
He kind of looks around. It's like some here might be worshippers, might know.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Do I overhear that?
Yeah.
While I'm
Well,
nearby?
no, you did approach. So yeah, let's say that you're just standing like just right behind all this going on. So yeah, sure, you can hear.
I play a game of telephone. I go, hey, guys. I just play it up below. Guys, pull in. Do any of you guys know Gramesh? Do any of you guys know who Gramesh is? Anyone over here? And just mingle amongst the crowd that's followed me.
So you're asking the crowd? Okay.
That's like been following me around
Sure.
and stuff. And
Some of the half works that are kind of following around are like, yeah, we know Groomesh.
I like you guys. Come here. Tell me all about Gramesh. Hold on. Tell me all about him. He seems like a cool guy.
All right. So unless you're going to ask a very specific or pointed question, all you're hearing about is like, oh, he's the best. Yeah.
Where do I worship him?
What's that?
Where do I worship him?
Oh, he's got shrines all over the Pomarge.
You know, I have to drop by Highport at some point in my travels. Is there like a temple there?
Maybe a luck check.
Oh no. We're gonna go high.
You always go high.
Ah, yeah.
One of them says, oh, no. There used to be 10 or so more years ago. It was sacked and raided, deconsecrated, and there's no temple there anymore.
But there's like ruins of one?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure most of the stones have been taken away, used in other buildings. Yeah, there used to be one there.
That sucks. But cool. You guys are great. Let's go get around. And I just take the orcs only.
Downcast looks from everyone else. Oh.
I like the idea that there's like a dating network named like Orcs Only, like FarmersOnly.com.
Plentyoforcs.com.
Hello.
All right, so what's everyone else
Only
doing?
works.
I'm gonna pipe up to everybody. Maybe it's still in shot of Garland. Maybe unfortunately, and say like, if they have a deal with the slavers, we've got those amulets. We could pretend to be slavers on the way in, and maybe we won't get our hands burned off.
I mean, yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I've been trying to play the part to begin with. Say I should be able to fit in.
So like, yeah, I can't help you with where. I mean, they must have an entrance better than the way that I got out. I can't tell you more than that, but I can tell you how I got out. Find the ruined temple. There's a central altar that's shattered. I was able to break off a bit more of the stone and slip out.
If there's any kind of can help describe so we can sketch out a rough map.
Yeah,
of
he
the path
actually
he
does
took.
have a really good memory of it. And it's like I hadn't felt fresh air or seen sunlight in months. It was so he's able to describe the place. He does describe like the skyline, and so from that you know that it's deep into the city. So he describes some of the buildings you guys remember seeing, and from that you kind of got an idea of where it is. You didn't go that deep into town, but you kind of know the area that you should be searching for.
Do you remember hearing any kind of past phrases or anything they use that can help us get past?
They seem to know one another. It's a fairly small group. People rotated in and out. There wasn't always the same guards. I don't speak Orc. They spoke Orcish. Can still only passably speak it now.
Was it always only orcs? Or was
No,
it-
no. Some large humans like Southerners, long hair, steel gray eyes, very powerfully built men. Not from around here.
Wasn't me.
If you're gonna try and go through those sewers that I exited from, you've got to watch out for those insect men. They've got an intellect about them. They use tools, speak their own language, and there is a warren of them under there.
I mean, it's the best lead we have so far.
Yep.
Well, best of luck to you. I hope you can rescue some.
Meta question, real quick, that might be pertinent. Leon or Cure Light Wounds does not like reverse mangling, right? It will not. It will not do anything like for a mingled limb or
No.
like. There's nothing I can do to help his hands, right? Okay.
Something like
Have
regeneration.
to be a bit higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing. Okay.
Nor will it cure your hangover that you're going to have in a few hours.
Damn.
Before we take off for the evening, like, let all your friends around here know that not everything's as they appear with me. So I'll get stabbed in the back. Just kind of smile and get up and leave.
Okay. So what do you guys do? It's late into the evening. The festivities are winding down, mostly because most of the patrons are passed out drunk.
I walk over to the table of the elves and I make sure they're not lying on their backs, so that way
So
they don't
die on their own
die. Yeah, and then I pay for a room and I take my 3 new compatriots upstairs and I go to sleep.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to take the barmaid home or go home with her, whichever.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you wait till the end of the evening, sure enough, she offers bed and entertainment for you. Tristan and NPC, are you guys getting rooms here? What do you want to do?
How many orcs are still standing with me throughout this evening?
Are you drinking at this point? More than
I
just
had a
taking
second
sips?
flagon. I
Okay.
had a second flagon or third throughout the evening, yeah.
Okay. A few.
Alright. I invite all of them back to a room.
Right. NPC will get little sleep tonight. Okay. Well, come morning, Thiber. Maybe a Constitution check. I am sure that's
No
over your con.
sound.
Oh, we lost your voice there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I had my mute button. It's 11 out of 16.
All right. Well, it's actually an enjoyable night. You leave with your testicles intact.
Yay. You know,
So
any
that's where
night.
she gets the wineskins from. Ah,
It's all coming together or apart, depending on which side of that equation you are.
right, yeah.
Some of the wineskins are smaller than others.
Bert, I asked you not to talk about that publicly, please.
All right. So if you ever come back this way, you're invited to stay again.
Yay, free room and board.
Yeah, NPC, you're wrecked by morning. Eventually, at some point, you probably pass out and get a little bit of sleep.
Hell yeah.
Frendon, Drone Wolf is just unconscious after a bit.
Did I find the cure for getting teleported away by my dark half is just drinking myself to oblivion so my body's useless? Is that what I need to do?
Actually, you wake up. You're in a new set of the dark clothes that you always appear in. However, no dagger this time, no blood everywhere this time, but there is a handwritten message that you can't read because you apparently wrote it while you were inebriated.
Oh no, it's like a memento situation. I have to look at myself in the mirror and look for the tattoo soon. Okay.
And that's when the alcoholism began.
Yes.
Yep. You can make out the word "don't," and then the rest is just scrawl.
I look at that and I see don't and nothing else that I can read. And I'm like, this is so me. This is so unfortunately me.
It's very precise with the word "don't," and then off. All right, come morning. Actually,
I want to write a note
yeah.
that's on. I want to get like a post-it note or some equivalent for here that says something like "Woo!" if you love beer, and then go up in the morning and slap Grown Wolf on the back and say, "Ready for a hard day of writing."
Yes. Oh, not so loud or so forceful though, please.
Actually, NPC, give me a percentage check, luck check.
Oh no. High. Low. I'm gonna. Yeah, that's
You
fine.
have an STD.
I'll take it. What happened?
No, it's well. What happens is that you're robbed. They wake up before you do. What did you have on you for coins?
29, 28 gold. 28 gold.
It's gone.
Where is
You're
it?
also pregnant and have an STD.
We'll find out about that later. But more importantly, you were robbed. They got up before you.
Wah, wah.
Kind of left.
Jerks. After all I
Isn't
did
that
for
becoming
them
a theme with
and
you on
to
the getting
them.
robbed?
Yeah, I get robbed a lot. I'm so poor.
Exactly. Everyone else is fine. Frendon, it looks like someone did try and open your door. But somehow you managed to put the bar on the door before you passed out.
I like the idea that the little mini barrels were maybe like in the one place that made the door hard to leverage open,
Yeah,
like
there
in
you
my
go.
incompetence.
Thump, thump. Okay. Well, next morning, do you guys carry on to Safeton?
I'm raring to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're done here, aren't we?
So, to make things a little short, unless you wanted to stop at each of the cities or towns, try and get more information, we can just pick up in Highport.
I think we should stop at more towns and get more info. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Is
Should we
that a
go on
quotation
tour?
mark info again?
Take this on tour?
I would like a bed soon. I did before. I was a little passive aggressive when I talked about the boats, but now I'm really just feeling like we should have used a boat.
You want to
Everyone,
get on a boat with how you're feeling right now.
I wouldn't have had the chance. I
And for
wouldn't have
some
had the
reason,
chance.
as you're coming down from your room and you're got this huge hangover, people are just yelling "woo" at
Oh.
you real loud.
Oh, oh no. Oh, this is my worst nightmare. But I did get these souvenir barrels of booze, and I've got those like just tied behind my back as well.
I got robbed, but I got this, and I pull out the testicle wineskin and it just.
I got robbed in what was the name of this town again? I forget.
Hard by.
Aren't I?
I got robbed in Hardby, and all I got was this testicle flagon. Essentially, it's kind of
Nice. Well, you could hire a boat from here, or you could just continue on with your horses over land. How do you want to play it?
I'm fine sticking with the same.
Weren't
plan.
we staying on land because of Odette's
Yeah.
blizzard?
Yeah.
So Safeton is next. Do you guys want to go through each town or not? I mean, I'm fine if you want to try and get more information in each town. That's fine with me. Or we can go to Highport. Either one.
In character to Thybor, do you think that maybe some of these towns might have a temple to Grimesh that we could help? I mean, it sounds like we have some idea of where this thing is now, but do you think it'd be worth asking more, or just heading in and seeing if we could find this entrance?
What I know is this something that you would want to openly talk about. I'm thinking no.
Oh, good thinking. Good thinking.
No, I'm asking GM.
Oh,
Or D-
In this
Wait.
area where the population is primarily orc half orc, it's no big thing. I mean, you know that there is a shrine to Grumish and Safeton. There is one.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'll share whatever character knowledge I would have over the area and who you can openly talk to and not who I wouldn't. Say orcs typically okay.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we could, even if we skip some of these places, maybe Safeton, since it has that temple and shrine, would be a good place, maybe.
Definitely check it out.
Okay. Well, it's a fairly hard ride to Safeton. You cross the river on one of the bridges. This area again is fairly from Safeton up on the Wild Coast is fairly safe. I mean, they do patrols, so you don't run into anything really bad. Again, you roll into town late evening. Safeton is a much larger place. They have a very strong harbor here. Many ships, deep sea and flat bottomed in the harbors. There's a lot of small businesses lined up right near the harbor, and as you get further into Safeton, you get more business districts, and then finally all the homes seem to be towards the back end. Thyber, you've been here probably several times if you grew up in the area. This is one of the largest commerce areas for traffic coming off the sea. It's fairly safe. There's a good population of a lot of different species working out of here. It's not primarily orc. But there is a small shrine to Grumesh here. Nothing huge, nothing that's going to cause problems for the populace, but there is a small shrine here. Other than that, it's a great place to spend money, to make money. If you're business minded, to start businesses, it's a booming city. Yep. So you've got your choice of higher or better places to stay here. You can get a place that's got great beds. You can get some fine dining, better alcohol, whatever you'd like.
Which city was it that the ruined temple to Grimesh is
Highport.
in?
Highport.
Highport.
Yep.
I want to go to the temple here at some point. Or stay. do whatever rituals and offerings are customary. And if there's any kind of priest or something there, get into just a religious discussion, and then how I've had a dream about rebuilding a temple that was destroyed. That's like what I'm wanting to quest for, and kind of an area. I don't know what city it was in, but give like the details, like as if it was a dream, to
Sure.
see if you can direct me to it.
Make me a luck check.
Always low. No.
We do have rerolls.
Y'all want me to re-roll it?
I kind of like this idea of yours of tricking that dude. I'm for it.
Okay. I'll go one more.
Okay. The priest that you're talking to knows of only one desecrated shrine to Grumash, and it's in Highport. He gives you a better understanding. I mean, like if you even sneak in some of what the land looks like around it from your quote vision, he will give you a better idea of where the temple is. He does warn you, though. He says that temple became deconsecrated, became unholy for a reason. It was tainted by something living there that the clerics of that temple destroyed it themselves. So if you are being guided there to replenish that temple, to reconcentrate it, the evils there. When they say evils, keep in mind that it means just foes or enemies.
Right.
Are likely still there beneath the ground waiting.
Now he told us basically they were UNT, correct? Is what we got the description.
Nope. They said the guy said insectile creatures.
Oh, I thought he said snake people.
Insect creatures.
And they spat some sort of caustic venom that is what caused the guy's hands.
I'll like describe like what we were told, like in the vision I saw. Are these the creatures that are there?
Okay.
See if he can confirm.
He actually goes, and they have a small library here. He consults the records, and he does have a history of that temple. The description sort of matches up to what they found.
Yeah, what else can you tell me to aid me? And what can I do to reconsecrate it? Which part of me is like, if I can do this, I'll do that as well. If I can gain favor with my God, then sure.
Well, to reconsecrate it, you would have to destroy the evil that nests beneath it. You'll have to, with fire, cleanse the area, and then reconstitute. You'll need to repair the altar.
I'll try to whatever information I can get from this guy in the books he's got that may help us, and actually look at what I need to do. All the information, proper rights, and stuff like that.
Right. Well, that would be better if you had a cleric to do it, but otherwise, any follower of Grumash can say these words. Having a repaired altar there would not. It would not be unseemly to have had a blood sacrifice on the altar before reconcentrating it.
Smile.
Yep. He also hands you a scroll that you might find useful.
Is it anything I can read, or am I going to have someone else like Grown Wolf read?
You can. There are certain scrolls that anyone can make use of, mostly protection scrolls. This is what this is. Scroll of protection.
Versus...
You're not quite sure.
Okay.
It just tells you that it might be useful.
Will I know when to use this?
Grumish will let you know.
Very well. Thank you for your time. And give whatever proper donations and
Well, in the civilized areas, we'll take donations in coin, but usually it's the blood and skull of your enemies. But, times being what they were, we'll take gold. Yeah, so you now have a much better idea of where the temple is located in Highport.
Nice.
Is there anything the rest of you guys want to do?
Being that this is a bigger place, are there any small animals that seem unique or interesting?
Unique or interesting? Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not really the place for that, unless it's being grilled.
So, with that in mind, are there any animals which look really pathetic and needy?
Yes, indeed. They're normally kept in cages, heads bashed in right before they hit the grill, so it's
Oh.
fresh. So you know
Oh,
it's
no.
fresh.
I look at them and I'm like, I was too late. I couldn't save you. And I tried, and then I just catch up with everyone else.
All right, Dion, Richard, is there anything that you want to do?
No, I think I'm just gonna like walk around with people, make sure that the party's like covered. You know, nobody's alone anywhere while we're traveling. I'm not really good at the information gathering, so
Okay, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to go to the Temple of Gramesh just to, see the kind of architecture or what symbols they have up, just so we know what we're looking for when we get to Highport. That's
Sure.
all.
Mostly crude, mostly stone. There's lots of iconography of a single eye.
Cool. Know what we're looking for then.
The evil eye.
Yep, very good. Well, we'll just pass on then. Next day's ride is an extended one. You'll be lucky to make it to Fax before nightfall. So, nothing occurs though. You do arrive several hours after nightfall, safe enough. Fax is a very small fishing village. Great place to stop, replenish your horses, just have a place to stay to sleep the night through. So unless anybody wants to do anything,
is there a bar?
there's always bars. I mean, water isn't really potable, so there's always
Bar.
You know what, NPC? This seems like the perfect place to get one's facts straight.
Yeah.
I don't have any gold though, so can someone spot me for my drinks? I did buy everyone's drinks the other night.
I like the idea that Tristan won all that gold and is like, nope.
I gave most of it back. I spent the stuff on the bar to cover everybody, and
It's like if I give you this gold, you're just going to have it stolen again.
I give some of my gold to NPC for sure. We'll figure out if we have to budget it later. I don't care. Grown Wolf is more about food than gold, so.
But you can trade gold for food.
True. This is why I keep you brainy boys around. I'm only smart about my narrow study of interest.
All right. Unless you really wanted to do anything in particular, yes, no, maybe. You assume
Good.
that you get drunk enough to fall asleep. NPC gets robbed again, and but has a good time. So I don't know that she cares.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So we'll take up. Let's just move it along that you can get to Highport. So have you guys concocted a story? If anyone recognizes Thyber or anything else, you have plenty of time to discuss this before you get there. And not that the rest of you couldn't be recognized. It's just more likely that Thyber's the one that's going to be recognized.
Okay.
I figure we play the part of I'm looking for slaves.
Yeah. And I think I'd distribute the amulets we had that could potentially disguise us as slavers and give everybody even some of the wooden token currency just in case there's more further proof required that we know what we're talking about. Look over the ledger that had some recent transactions to familiarize ourselves with some of those names. Like, I'm kind of dumb about some things, but I'm trying to be smart about this one.
All right. So just as a recap, the tokens you can spread across each other just fine. The amulets, though, they were specific to orc clans that were working for the slavers.
Okay.
So unless you're an orc, having one of those amulets may or may not be useful.
Gotcha.
So
Well, yeah, worst case, you just say I'm your slave, Thybor. It's fine. I've been worse.
But I figure where we've done that a few times where, like, if need be, y'all are slaves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you're rolling to
Can
town.
NPC be an honorary orc?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's true.
Well, if reputation precedes, then yes.
Nice.
The orc slayer.
Not much has changed in the city than the last time you were here. It's dirty, it's dingy. Like the populace just seems to have just no soul about them. Just drudgingly going about their jobs. The ports are full. Merchandise coming in and off. You've been here before, so like you know where main part of town is. You know where the water tower is. You actually do know where that red building is that you were hired to be guards to who you suspect are slavers, but you weren't able to verify that like 100%. You know that they were taking slaves to Greyhawk, but you don't know if that was like their own thing because they were very specific slaves or if they're part of that network. You don't know.
You know what? I have a way. So I know I've been dabbling in sort of the dark arts and things, fellas. Well, I have a way to listen in on places now from afar. If we want, I could set us up. We could get a bar, because we do that. Go to the bar, chill, sit in the room tonight, take a rest when we get there, and then I just think really hard about that place, and I might overhear some things.
All right.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, let's go
Alright.
for it.
So how close do you have to be for that to work?
I think it's really open. I have the notes here. Let me double check. So, clear audience allows the caster to eavesdrop magically upon any particular location. There is no effective limit to the spell's range, but the location must be familiar to the caster or be obvious, such as the top floor inside a tower the caster can see.
You were there before, so
Yeah.
yep, good enough. So you want to take a room in towards the dock area, or do you want to try and find a place more towards the middle of the city? Dock area is likely to be safer just because they're not going to screw around with commerce coming in and out of the docks. You're less likely for anything really bad to happen to you there, but you may want otherwise. So
Okay.
what do you guys think?
I like the safety, personally.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
easy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, you find one of the many places for a bed near the docks. I'm just hand waving prices for the time being. It's not like you're spending a lot of money here. It's a few silver a night. There are a lot of ship captains staying here. There's a lot of merchants staying here. Seems all right. Food is decent. Drinks
These
are
are all good
okay.
things.
All right. So you arrive there late. So you sleep through the night. Is anyone doing... How many rooms do you take? Or do you just take one great room, several beds? You do either.
Look at NPC.
Yeah.
What is your plans for the evening? We need separate
One
rooms.
room's fine unless you're bringing friends.
Ah,
I think we can all do one room.
all right.
Okay.
Oh.
Like large room then, are you setting any kind of watch?
I'll sit watch.
Do you mind if I take first watch, considering in the middle of the night I have a tendency to disappear? Might be better if
Yeah,
I
go
take
ahead.
earlier.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll take early morning
I'll take
watch.
a rotation.
Okay. Good enough. Deep into the evening, who was that going to be?
It was not me because I was trying to go early. Yeah.
Agent.
I said last watch, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
what, early
me.
morning. So
Yeah.
I guess that's Thybor.
Okay, Thyber. You're the door. Excuse me. The door and the lock to your room. You hear someone is testing it during the night. Now you do have a bar on your side. I assume you dropped the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like I hear that I'm gonna go over there and try yank the door open real quick and get ready to grab whoever's there.
Okay. Roll me a d6. Actually, you don't need to. I'm sorry. You had a heads up. They are not surprised either, though. Okay, roll a d6 for initiative.
Nice.
All right, so you will go first. There are 3 darkly clad figures that were trying to open your door. So you wrench the door open, and the one that was trying to pick your lock and to move the bar out of the way kind of stumbles forward just a little bit. What do you do?
If he stumbles forward, I'm going to try to grab the bag of his collar and just throw him into the room behind me as I'm yelling for everybody to get up.
Okay. Make me a melee attack.
Just a D20, or you want to attack with?
Not with a weapon, since you're just grabbing him. So it's just you would still get your Thaco. Just don't use any weapon bonuses. Oh, that's gonna no problem. You grab him, you hurl him forward. Okay.
Yeah, I want him behind. Like I'm wanting him
Yeah.
into the room.
Oh yeah, you throw him a good length across the room. He just tumbles and falls, and you're yelling for everyone else to get up.
Yep.
All right.
And then I'm gonna get ready for the other two.
Okay. So their turn. One of them is the one furthest from the door, so like not within melee range of you, runs. The one that's still in front of you tries to shank you with his stiletto.
It should be easy to hit, but
No,
not with that roll.
not with that.
Because I'm not gonna have armor on. So.
Yeah. All right, everyone. No one drank last night. No one said they were doing anything like that. So let's have NPC roll a d6 for your side. Friendin, if you want to cast, you can. There is one intruder in the room on the floor. It looks like Thyber is having one at the door. And you guys will go first.
I think I'm actually not going to cast this round. I'm going to be a melee man's.
Sure. Okay, you guys go first. Thyber, let's start with you since you're still at the door. One's decided to engage you. One of them ran.
I don't have a weapon, so I'm just gonna grab him and try to do the same thing, chunk him into the room and shut the door behind me.
Yep. Okay. What's your
will
Thaco?
hit. So I'm looking at that'll hit an AC 4.
Okay. AC 4. That will hit. So yeah, you grab him and throw him into the room as well.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna shut the door behind me.
Okay. You can drop the bar as well.
If I have time to, sure.
Okay. Who's next? Two intruders in the room, dressed in kind of dark colored clothing.
I kind of think that I was like prepared to punch somebody with a club when that happened. Like I felt like I was on edge, and that's why I'm not casting. I'm about to hit something.
You grab club.
Yep, club swings away.
Oh wow!
19.
Yeah, that hits. 2 points of damage. Like you slam this club across the side of his face, which kind of drops his hood a bit. It is a half orc. Looks young.
Okay.
Like a teen, or just out of his teens. So he's not got the big muscular yet. He's he's a little husky, but he hasn't grown into his size yet.
Seeing that, I say you're more like a quarter orc.
Yeah. Who's next?
What's funny is actually a roll from my dude's only 15.
Oh wow. Huh.
But you're one of the mountain half orcs. They're
Yeah.
growing big.
Oh, yeah.
So who's next?
I mean, my round is just going to be, what's going on? And sort of generally getting out of bed and trying to clear the sleep from my eyes. So,
Cool.
there's an action for you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Sleepies.
assuming this round it's just taking me like to get my stuff and get ready for
Well, if you want to
combat
put
or
armor
whatever.
on, yeah. But if you just want to grab your weapon and go at it, you can.
I mean,
Or fist.
do we want to try and talk and figure out what the hell they were doing
All right.
rather
And we can
than
do that after they're
assault them?
subdued.
Yeah.
I
Oh
kind
yeah, you can
of,
definitely subdue them.
I kind of just grab my axe and I just point it at them and I'm like, start talking.
Okay. They're outnumbered. I'll go ahead and make a morale check. That's how we'll do this. Oh wow. Yeah. They drop their weapons. They put their hands out to their sides, like, hey, all right.
Talk.
Yabba.
What are you here for?
To check you guys out.
By sneaking in the middle of the
Who
night?
sent you? I'll say an orc.
Your former employers want to know why you're back in town, but their goods never arrived. Call your
Because we
slaves
were
off.
attacked.
Hey, call your slaves off. We're good. We're good.
Stand down.
I put my
Drop
weapon
it.
down.
Yeah.
They didn't arrive because we were attacked, and some of your employees were turncoats and attacked us.
Hey, whatever you say, man. We're just here to, we're just gonna break into your room, rifle through your stuff, try to figure out why you're here. Hey, if you want to explain yourself, I mean, you're welcome to do so. There's not a price on your neck yet. There may well be if we don't get back. Hey, that's not a threat. I'm just telling you what might happen.
No, I understand. I'll go with you. Y'all wait here. Take me to your boss.
All right.
And then I'll motion at Tristan to like follow,
Okay.
since he sees sneak.
What? I think I still catch that.
Not with me, just like that. Follow.
Yeah, I get.
All right. Yeah. You follow them out, leaving NPC, Grown Wolf, and Tristan behind. What do you guys want to do? Thiber is going into the lair of the enemy.
I sneakily follow along.
I ask Tristan before he leaves, like, hey, should we come with, or is this just like a you alone thing? Or
Hey, gear up and come on out. I guess I'll go ahead and follow to make sure they don't shank him on the way there. But
Gotcha.
No.
So you sneaky a little ahead. We slightly bumble much further behind.
I like that
pretty
idea.
much.
Got it.
All right, Grown Wolf, it's you and me.
Let's do
It's
this.
middle of the night. Thiber, you're being led to a deeper part of the town, past the water station where you know that red house is. Tristan, make me a hide in shadows.
Not a move silently. Oh no! All right, hide in shadows. Oh wow, I make it. I'm
Okay.
surprised. Hey,
All right. They don't seem to notice that you're following. You notice, however, that there are people following them. They do not seem to be the slender, younger half orcs. These are big, burly, full on orcs that seem to be dressed for combat. They're following a good distance behind, but they're following. So, do you want to follow them?
No, I didn't say it because I just said I will go out there. I would have my assumption and my bad for not stating it that I would have put my gear on.
Yeah. I mean, what do you wear?
But if
for
not,
armor?
if you're like you didn't say it, then I'm like okay, I didn't say it.
What do you
so.
wear for armor?
I've got splint.
Yeah, that's easy enough. You can just be tightening buckles as you're walking out the door. That's not a big deal.
I mean, I didn't say it, but I would have got dressed as well.
Yeah, me too.
I assume that you're going to wait a little
Yeah.
bit for them to get ahead of you anyway before you.
Yes,
Mhm.
a bit.
All right, good enough.
And I didn't say it, but I'm a magic user. So hello, everyone. I'm ready.
All right,
The
let me
magic
get
can happen
dressed.
All right, Thiber, you know exactly where you're heading, and to the red building. There are lamps inside coming through the windows. You guys can. I mean, this is like the darkest part of the night before dawn. The streets are fairly empty. There are a few people. You can see some people going rooftop to rooftop using the thieves' highway. You kind of expect that. But you're again led into this single room shack, and there's the orc that hired you still there. He's counting.
Now, was he
coins.
part of the greater slave stuff going on?
You don't
Or
know,
no?
actually. You don't know.
Okay.
You never figured that out. They had slaves, but they were very specific slaves. Well, you don't even know if they were slaves. They were just apprehended. And they were to be delivered. So he looks up. Here to show your face again. When we pay good
I have no
gold,
reason not to.
When we pay good gold, we
Yeah,
expect
because,
the work to be done.
Agreed, but when your own people turn against us, and then I tell the tale of how we were attacked, but I'm going to twist it and not give the dude that actually got away, but one of the guys that died. I'm going to say that he was the one that started the attack, and I cut him down.
Okay. Make me a charisma check.
I'm going to re-roll.
There we
Success.
There we
go.
go.
You're not telling me everything, but yeah, we kind of suspected nobody from that party came back. All right.
If you search the site, you'd have saw the wolf prints, the blood. They were or they were were creature of some kind.
We did.
Looked like
We found the signs.
we barely made it out. I was unconscious. My slaves carried me out.
They didn't slit your throat. You must have paid very good money for them.
Now, there's ways you can build loyalty into your slaves.
Right. Nonetheless, we do have a problem. We were paid for a job wasn't done, and you're still alive, and my men aren't. What are we to do
Because
at
of
this
your
point?
own men. That would be your fault, not mine.
All right, yeah, he growls a little bit at that, and he kind of stands. He's looking down at this chest of money that he's got in front of him. He's looking down at some paperwork on his desk. It's like, if I weren't in need of men right now, I'd run you through without a second thought. But there's too much on the line.
You'd be 2 men short, too, if I didn't come here willingly. And I look at the 2 that brought me here.
And the children, yes. That's unfortunately most of what I have right now. Tristan, there's the ones that were following them have taken up positions outside. Like they're just kind of lookouts now. So you're...
I get the feeling that these are people who are working for the guy inside, don't I? Yeah.
Yep.
All
Meanwhile...
right, well,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
stay with them.
So,
No, I was just going to say I hang back with them, apparently. Or, out of their line of sight.
out of their
as
line
well.
of sight. You made a great roll for hide and shadow, so you're unseen. Drone Wolf and NPC, however, are going to be stumbling through the darkness. Well, one can see in the darkness, but the other one
I
will be
have a
stumbling.
jar. I have a jar of glow shrooms.
Actually, those died long ago.
Oh.
That's okay. I take your hand, NPC, and I'm like, I will show you the underworld.
I slowly open the jar of dead glow shrooms and just romantically put it into your mouth to make you
I
eat it.
love it. I love it.
I just
Save
start
versus poison or
feeding
die.
them to you.
Save
I'm
versus
like,
poison. I'm doing it. Because, this is what Grown Wolf does. He passes again.
Iron stomach.
I feel like I'm developing a constitution over time.
So there's no one to follow you at this point, but you kind of get that. You know where they're heading. So how do you want to go about this? You want to just traipse off into the darkness to find that red house? You got to come up with a plan. What are you guys doing?
I think NPC. Do you think we try to catch up with Tristan, because Tristan probably knows where he's going because he followed Thybor.
I think we should stand by near the watering tower, because that was on the way to that,
Okay.
and
So
it
you-
was like still on the safer
Okay.
end. I think we should just hang out nearby the watering tower and wait for a
You know
signal.
what? You're right. I don't know where the sudden abject bravery came from in me, and I like this plan.
It's totally fine, and we can pass this off by looking like a romantic couple. In
Do you
the
have
middle
more
of
of
the
those
night.
delicious and definitely not poisonous expired mushrooms?
I just delicately feed you another dead glow shroom.
All right, Thyber, back with you. He's like I'm short-handed. You survived that attack, so you've got some skill. Your slaves seem to be well trained. What will it cost for the next month of your time?
Depends. What's the job? What's the risk?
Well, the risks are higher than I thought. The last job was supposed to be a simple delivery. Someone So on to my little operation here.
Well, it was inside job because it was your people that attacked us.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Look, there's a larger operation going on here that I've just got a small part of. I provide men. I provide some protection and information. I've not got the men to provide them anymore. But they need some people. They need some folks. He weighs for a minute. He throws you a silk bag. That enough for now?
Kind of feel it to get a
It's
guess.
gemstones.
Oh, gemstones that look in colors.
What kind of intelligence do you have?
Average 10.
Okay, make me a check.
Nope.
You have no idea what the value
90.
is. There's a fair number of gemstones cut, so you know that they're of quality. None of them look like they're occluded or broken. You have no idea the value, but it must be a
Right.
fair amount.
Should be good.
Right.
And
Come
the
back
job.
tomorrow. Come back tomorrow evening. I'll get you started.
Okay.
The job will be in town for now. Figure that in a week or two you're going to be moving up the coast. By boat this time, I think.
And next time something happens like this,
No, there's not going to be a next time. This time it's just going to be
you see me in
and your
town and I'm not trying to hide, just come knock on my door. Don't send your runts after me.
They were just supposed to dig a little, but I guess they're not even good for that.
And see you tomorrow. And I turn and walk off.
Yeah. He's making some notes in his ledger. As you come out of the door, there's two orcs on either side, and they kind of look behind you, and then they just stand down. They let you go.
Now I'll head back the same path we came because
Right.
I'm figuring Tristan was somewhere along the way.
Yep. Tristan, you see him come out unharmed. You pass him by. Actually, with that roll fiber, you don't notice him. He's well hidden in shadows.
I'll just silently join behind him at the point when he passes.
God damn it. Didn't even see you there.
All
Ah,
right.
I was looking for you.
You guys will pass by the water tower where Grown Wolf and NPC are just there eating shrooms, sitting on the well.
Do we need to leave them alone?
Man, everything is just it's just so crazy when you think about it, man. Like we're just all here and like we're just all here.
You know, I thought these would be poisonous, but they've really just been very pleasant.
All right.
It's like I can touch you. I just start delicately like running my hands across.
And
his
the moment she
face.
does that, I poof into a mission for the dark lady. Oh god!
And he thinks, wow, these shrooms, they made you disappear, man.
All right. Okay, we'll call that a night. Wow. So you guys just shortcutted the entire sewer section. You're going right to the main section.
Nice.
That's
Oh.
yeah. That's
Hey.
gonna be cool. Yeah.
You crazy son of a bitch, you're walking right into the lion's den. What are you doing?
Did not expect that. All right, guys. Well, let's just do sign off here. Richard, you got anything you want to plug?
Sure, you can find me playing video games here on Twitch under LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels.
Nice. Brendan, what do you got going on?
Just going to be making tabletop art on my channel all week per usual. So if you are interested in OSR kind of pen and ink style illustration, come take a look. Twitch.tv/Brendan. It's what I do. And playing here.
Nice. Dion?
Hi, I'm Substances Used on Twitch. I play retro JRPG titles and other assorted games on my channel, and I play D&D on a bunch of my friends' channels. You can catch me on Tuesdays and Fridays on Bert's channel. You can catch me on every other Mondays on Featherfall. You can catch me Saturdays on Folsom Art. This specific Friday, you're going to catch me over on the Grouch Couch. I'm going to be on a little show, just this one-time thing where we just do drinks and talk about D&D and stuff, I guess. So, yeah, it's going to be cute.
Oak, I do not have a trigger for you. Tell us your things.
Of course you don't. No one loves me. This is Oka. You can catch me here, of course, Tuesdays and Friday nights and Saturday nights at midnight. Play some D&D 5e, with Saturday night being my bastardized version of it with my homebrew Grimdark. You can catch me Twitch, YouTube, Urience, Uraence.
Nice. I will make you a trigger for next time. I just keep forgetting to put that
I'm not
up
worried.
there. Yeah.
Nobody watches my shit anyway. So.
And if you found us, we're at twitch.tv/Steam Steal Murder. We stream 3 days a week. Currently, we're doing Tuesdays, this game. Fridays, we're doing Talisman Adventures right now for at least this week and maybe next. On Sundays, we have a Shadowrun using the Powered by the Apocalypse system, alternating with Just Something Fun. This week is the Just Something Fun. And this Saturday, I am running Umerica DCC adventure at the official Goodman Games site. And of course, check out our podcast at BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching tonight and all these shenanigans. Wow. Lots
Have a
of
good night.
shenanigans.
Just a little bit.